I thought I'd just quickly touch on lineouts and why they are such an amazing attacking weapon. Lineouts actually create a couple of different scoring opportunities, some very obvious and some not so obvious. In its simplest form, what a lineout allows you to do is it actually allows you to pull in all of the forwards on one side of the field. When you've got all of the forwards pulled in on one side of the field, you can set up an attack that is very difficult to defend against in a couple of different ways. But let's start with the forward version of that attack. If you have a lineout and you win your lineout, first of all, you can set up a driving maul that is very similar in structure to a scrum. However, for the defense, it's a lot more difficult to defend against that because they're not defending against the straight line as you would have in the front row of a scrum, but actually in an odd kind of rounded shape that they need to defend against. And the difficulty that comes with that is you can peel off to the left or the right, and you can basically shift the weight from one to the other without getting blown up, whereas that is not the case with a scrum. So it's exceptionally difficult to defend against, and that is why teams often make as much ground as they do and get tries from it very regularly when they're close to the line. If they don't score from this, or if they just decide to go for an alternative option, they can always bring their backline into it. What happens is with all of the forwards on one side of the field, you've got a lot of attacking options with a lot of space to attack. So the cross kick comes into play, and if you've got runners running hard at the line, especially if you don't have the driving maul yet, you've got a lot of space between yourself and the defenders. So there are many opportunities to actually break through and score from a lineout. And it's one of the highest percentage phases that you can actually play from and actually get points from it. Worst case scenario, the last option is take the lineout. If you make ground and you maul it some distance, the opposition will often pull down the lineout or that lineout maul. They pull down that maul, you get a penalty, and you can put yourself in a position to actually kick at poles. So those are the three very simple ways that you can actually use the lineout as an attacking weapon.